And we are recording.
Alright. When last we left off, the wolf pack, having caused a bit of a ruckus in Oakland, have arrived in the distant mountain city of Yord, known as the Town of Skies. After regrouping with Garuk, the pack began gathering information, talking with a local business owner named Golfer about the political atmosphere and major players in town. At his recommendation, after they bought a few items from his shop, they took a job with the Windline Company to clear out a mining site at the base of the peaks, after some kind of monster attacks were preventing further construction of the new wind line down there. After descending the peaks themselves, some of them going by wind line and one not choosing to do that, the pack located one of the fallen workers, who had been turned to solid stone by some basilisks, who quickly fell on the party in conjunction with a group of harpies. After managing to slay the creatures and starting to gather their wits after shaking off the charms they may or may not have felt, the pack heard the sounds of further monstrosities deeper in the valley, hidden beyond the mists, masking their sight. And that's where we pick up. You guys are still very clearly covered in basilisk gore, some of you more than others, surrounded by all the dead corpses of harpies and basilisks. Good amount of mist still in the air, kind of hampering your sight out to a certain distance, as you hear this roaring coming from farther in the valley. So, Wolfpack, what would you like to do?
What was that noise?
Well, I'm assuming after the last thing died, I moved my hex to Elvis temporarily.
Okay.
And I will hex his strength checks, since he's probably not going to make many of those.
All right.
So... And I guess we should go find out what's down there and fucking kill it, right?
Corey, can you describe again?
Yeah.
Did we hear humanoid screaming, or was it just this big beast?
Something big and beastly. You're not entirely sure. I'll go ahead and have you roll a nature check, and whoever wants to actually can roll a nature check.
I can. I am definitely not proficient though.
Okay.
Oh, I know all about this.
Yeah, Tez, with that roll, not being proficient in nature, you have, a bit of maybe not knowledge or experience with nature, but a basic idea of it. And the noises you heard coming from down the valley, it didn't sound friendly. And it more importantly, like, from what little experience with nature you do have, those you're not even sure even remotely what kind of beast made that noise, but you've heard other creatures make similar noises when fighting.
Oh. So, whatever that was, it sounds like it was in a brawl.
Well, I guess fucking send Elvis up in the air to fucking do a little recon.
Alright. Go ahead and roll me a perception check with him at disadvantage, because there is still a heavy cloud of mist throughout the valley.
He gets advantage on perception checks using his hearing or smell, so that's just a fucking push.
Yep.
So...
All right. He flies up, and you start getting like the basic sensations of him, viewing through his eyes and his senses. And he's a little, maybe not disoriented because of the mist, but it does make it hard to get any kind of real detail. He's able to figure out like the basic pathway of the valley going forward, but he isn't really able to get any sense of how far those noises were coming from or any visual sight on anything like that.
Well, that was a fucking bust. Too much fog, guys. I can't see shit.
We could sneak that way and do our best.
Works for me. Tej, you taking the lead?
Oh, gladly. I'll start making my way whatever direction it was that we heard, and I think we're all sneaking here, right? Being a little... I don't know, could we tell how far away it was?
Based on the local terrain, you're not entirely certain. It didn't sound far away or anything. It's not like you're hearing it off miles and miles, but
Okay.
a little hard to tell if it's going to be just around the bend or if it's going to be, a good a little
Okay.
drag. So
I'm pushing my way forward, but I'm being cautious.
okay.
However that brushes out.
Okay. As you guys start making your way down that path, passing the petrified statue, Garuk just kind of posts up near it and says, "I'll cover your guys' 6. If you run into anything, just come back, double back to me. We'll make it out of here."
Okay, bye, Garuk.
She doesn't respond to that as she kind of posts up with her short bow and then very quickly disappears from easy sight.
Okay.
All right.
All right. So, are you guys? You're cautious, but a little, maybe it's stealthy. Like, how are you doing this?
Happily stealthy.
Okay. In that case, I'll go ahead and have everyone roll me a stealth check.
Ooh.
15, 25, 6.
Ooh, wait, I have advantage from my boots, right?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah.
Much better.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You guys are feeling pretty confident about this as you start making your way down the path. Getting a bit of distance from where your battle was and where you had run into that first statue, about 45, 60 feet later, somewhere in that range, as you start making your way around the first bend, you come to the remains of what looks like another statue, this one crushed in several places and kind of just sitting in pieces of rubble on the ground. You are able to make out this thing's like a hand, half of a face, and what looks to be a whole leg that was seemingly untouched on the ground. But it looks like one of these workers that was petrified while trying to get away did not have as much luck as certain other still whole statues.
One unlucky fellow.
But continuing on, you do start hearing some more noises coming from farther down the path. I'll go ahead and have everyone roll me a perception check. This is going to be to determine if you guys get a sense of how far away it is.
Oh, I have no idea. Nice.
Yeah, okay. Those are some pretty good rolls other than Tez. Yeah, Tez, you're still kind of like, oh, that sounded like fighting earlier. The other 3, you're all able to quickly determine. It's not, the noises that you're hearing aren't too far away. Probably a couple more bends in the valley before you find whatever's making the noises. However, you do hear, it's different in sound this time. Whereas Tez was kind of able to pick up from the last time that it sounded like something was fighting. This time, it sounds like the same creature. You're not sure what the creature is, but this time it almost sounds like it's in pain.
Oh. Keep pushing forward. Slowly but surely.
Yeah.
All right. You guys continue forward, cautiously going forward, and you do run into, unfortunately, a couple more of the statues that are partially crushed or missing some pieces, having been subjected to bestial savagery after being petrified. Until you come to a small clearing. And you get the feeling this is probably the clearing where the mining operation... This is, the whole reason you're down here is that there's some kind of mine that was being opened up, so they were setting up a wind line to bring workers down here to go do that. Well, you found the mine. You very quickly see it's kind of an open clearing with some smashed up crates, loose dregs from mining equipment, some pickaxes, things like that, and a whole lot of blood that seems to be just kind of seeped into the dirt around here all over the place.
Like there used to be bodies here, now they're not.
Yes.
Did it leave any of those stupid skyhook things?
Go ahead and make an investigation check.
I mean, I'm not like devoting a ton of time. Like I'm just giving it like a casual glance around.
Yeah, you see one over on one of the smashed there is another smashed statue over in one part of this area. Looks like the arm might have gotten broken off before full petrification, and on the unattached arm is a completely unaffected Winline device for you to take if you wish.
Yep, I'll fucking take that shit.
Ooh,
All right.
good find.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, go ahead and mark down you found a Winline gauntlet. And all it essentially does, there's no attunement or anything, it just connects into the network, onto the wind lines itself and allows you to...
It just lets me swing around.
Yeah, essentially, yeah. You get to ride... Like, you'd still... Based on what you were told from the other users in your party, there's a bit of a finesse to it as far as gripping and controlling the magical connection to it, but it's not hard to do. It's almost intuitive.
Cool.
But yeah, you have access to that now. Looking around, you do see off in one corner of this kind of mining encampment that was being set up. Obviously, a lot of blood that's soaked into the ground and some smashed up petrified statues. You get the sense that this was very much where the workers probably got ambushed by a pack of basilisks. But you do see some weird signs farther towards the encampment where you were hearing the noises. I'm going to go ahead and have whoever's proficient in it roll a survival check.
Oh, me.
Ooh.
Nope. Not even close.
Nope.
Wow. Yucky.
How are druids and rangers not proficient in fucking survival?
Mine is not.
To be fair, I'm playing a druid.
I am proficient, and it's
Yeah,
just a bad roll.
So.
Yeah, that was just a shitty roll.
Very much so.
Yeah, very.
Same here.
Yeah, Tez, you're not really getting it. This just looks like some kind of ambush that turned very badly for a bunch of civilians.
This one badly.
Taylor, the kind of turned up field and blood and statues, it's kind of getting to you a little bit, and you're not able to make out the most amount of detail, but you are able to pick up on two things. One, you see tracks that, having just experienced what fighting a basilisk is like, and seeing how big their paws are, you get the sense that some of these tracks are basilisk. But then there's some tracks that aren't. And you're not really sure at all what those tracks are. They're unlike anything that you've seen in your experience ranging the wilds. The second thing you notice is towards where some of these odd tracks are and some of the tracks of a basilisk were, not too far away from that, there seems to be a trail where the odd tracks are on one side and on the other, something kind of large or heavy was seemingly dragged away from this site.
I'll relay that to the party.
Oh, good eye, Taylor.
I guess I have Elvis try to do another scout ahead. See if he sees anything. Still foggy.
Are we looking left or right on this path, Corey?
At this point, you guys are actually beyond the path on this map.
We're out of here. Okay, got it.
19. It is still pretty foggy, but he's able to get right above the fog line and just kind of peer down and see what he can see. He isn't necessarily following the tracks that were pointed out, but he's just kind of heading in that general direction, and it isn't too far of a flight for him before he ends up not running into, but he does find where any kind of natural path would end, as at the base of a mountain.
Okay. But like, he doesn't see anything between us and that.
No, he does not.
Cool. I'll let everybody else know that.
And how far away was it? I'm sorry.
From where you guys are to the base of the mountain where Elvis kind of stopped, about 200, 300 feet.
Okay.
Still kind of winding through this valley between some of these ridges and everything. After you get to this mining encampment, there's less of a path formed because there's no workers going, past that. But there is still a bit of valley that just kind of keeps going, almost like a natural game path, along with, as you guys kind of start looking, seeming where these odd tracks and this drag mark, they're heading in that direction as well.
Okay. What do you all say? Make our way that direction?
Yeah, works for me.
Okay.
Yeah, it'd be a good idea.
We'll make our way.
Okay. You guys continue making your way. Everybody go ahead and roll another perception check for me. Or survival, your pick. I'll let you pick either one in this case.
Mine are both exactly the same, so it doesn't matter.
Roll like
Dealer's
shit.
choice.
Mine are very different.
Drastically.
As in, I'm proficient in one and not at all in the other.
I'm proficient in both.
Okay. Tez, you're kind of leading the pack, but you're mostly at this point just doing that as kind of a,
Yeah.
leading in quotes. You're taking your cues from people, immediately at your flank to kind of follow where they are. Taylor, you are able to keep following the tracks. You do notice, along with the dragging, there seems to be more and more of these like little odd tracks that you weren't sure what they are. It's not anything. It's not tracks similar to anything you've ever experienced. But whatever it is, there's probably more than one of them, based on your observations. There just seems to be a few too many of the tracks themselves to indicate one creature doing whatever this dragging motion is. And Tyler and Finn, for both of you, keeping an ear out, you don't hear any more creature noises. No roars, no even like ambient noises really coming from farther up the path. Not even birdsong or anything like that. It's just kind of eerie and quiet here in this little valley as you kind of continue walking on. But eventually, the tree cover and kind of natural path you've been following breaks, and you do see, looming right in front of you, the base of a very large black and red stone mountain, along with what appears to be a cave entrance. And I'm going to move you guys over to this map, and tell me if it's broken you guys can see everything, because I'm wanting to make sure you don't.
Nope.
Sweet. Okay, it worked. All right. So yeah, you guys now have free reign of your tokens as you are kind of approaching this cave mouth. I'm assuming you're still doing it stealthy, right? Okay.
So I'll stop everybody. I see something lying on the ground 20 or 30 feet ahead. Can I tell what I can? Because I can see that up there, Corey. Can I tell what it is from this distance as I'm
all of you can kind of make out as you get a little bit closer. You can see exactly what it is because you created a few of these earlier. That looks to be a dead basilisk.
It's another dead basilisk. Shh.
Well, that's good. But I mean, like, what?
Oh.
What do we? There's got to be something killing them,
Something.
right? Like,
something's doing
Taylor,
job for us.
you see it pretty. All right, Taylor, you see it pretty quickly as you guys kind of group up here at the entrance of the cave. The drag mark that you were following stops at that basilisk.
I like something drug that thing back here to eat.
Do I know of anything that eats basilisks?
Go ahead and roll me a nature check. Or history. Whichever one, if you're proficient in either, you can take your pick, but if not, nature. Basilisks are not necessarily the top of the food chain, but they're pretty high up there. So you kind of think about it, and nothing's really coming to mind. Nothing that you would, or nothing that would probably fit in a cave like this. This cave mouth, as you're kind of looking at it, 15-foot wide entrance, ceiling's about maybe 10, 15 feet high. Like, it's not it's not a small entrance, but it's not huge. So you get the sense anything that can probably kill a basilisk, like the first thoughts that come to your mind anyway, would not fit in this.
Okay.
Okay.
Like, there's a lot of small shit that could kill a basilisk. Like, combining efforts and then drag this in here. Because Taylor told us there were lots of tracks, right? Like, more than just one thing that did the dragging? Or did I just make that up?
No, he did notice that there were quite a few of them. And yeah, Joe, there might be a little bit of lag because of the dynamic lighting. Let me know if it gets really bad.
It's bad enough to the point to where it's like delaying Discord a little bit. So I mean,
fine.
if I'm not moving
Yeah,
the
my
screen,
Discord's
I'm
okay.
fine. It just takes a minute to get everything lined up. So it was causing the Discord to go a little bit laggy. But I mean, as long as I don't move too much, it should be fine.
I'm
Uh,
pretty zoomed out.
Yeah, mine
I'm
actually
look-
seems to be moving
I'm
pretty
alright.
fast.
I'm good. Corey, I'm gonna slowly make my way up to the basilisk.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with.
Okay.
Like
Let's
10 feet, 10, 15 feet behind him, but I'm right behind him.
Let's make our way up here. And I'll stick to the right edge here. And I don't know. I don't know what's going on today, but I'm gonna kind of lean down and inspect it and see if I can tell how it died. Not what killed it, obviously, but like what may have been the cause of death.
Okay. Go ahead and roll. God, I really want this to be a medicine check, but I'm not sure that entirely applies because it's a beast. So, nature medicine, I guess they're probably the same modifier.
Yeah, they are. Actually, no, my medicine's fine. It's not a -1, so that's good.
Yeah, I'll say roll a medicine check
Oh,
to
I don't
identify what kind of wounds. Something picked this thing apart. Not entirely sure what. Taylor, are you going up there with them as well?
I would like to.
Oh, you can't move, can you?
I like to do anything.
There you go. I see your guy moving around.
Oh, there you are.
Or is that Garuk? I thought. Oh, no, that's not Garuk's character.
Oh, I
That's
just
not
don't
me.
Like that
All right.
there.
very lag. Anytime, but 12-second lag, and Discord has like a second or two at most. It's acting up really stupid for me. I don't know why.
Try closing out and opening back up just to see. Mine was having some issues earlier when I was initially messing with the dynamic lighting stuff too.
Roger that.
Yeah, I ended up cutting the map in the last game we played in my game. Corey down drastically because of that. I realized by the time I went through and did all of the dynamic lighting, I'm like, oh, that map's gonna kill everybody's fucking game. So I cut it down to one corner of it and just consolidated combat.
This map's not nearly that big, though. That map you have
Yeah,
is
no, I kind of
huge.
didn't think that one through all the way. So I gotta make smaller maps.
Yeah, this one. I mean, this isn't a big map, but I have a lot of the walls because it's a jagged cave. So
Yep. Yeah, it's fine. I mean, mine's working like a champ. Like,
Yeah, mine's great.
I'm moving my dude around and like the vision's scoping around and like I'm zooming in and out, and it's not. Mine's not hiccuping
mine's not
at
awful,
all.
but I also know my
Game.
graphics card on this laptop is not the
Yeah.
best
Yeah,
to begin
mine's
with.
doing
So
all right.
that might just be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stop it.
I mean, I restarted it, and it's still pretty much just as bad. So
Okay. Well, we'll see if we can get through this part, and then
Yeah,
take it
we'll
off the
deal
next
with
one.
it in the future.
Yeah.
We'll at least try and finish this one up. So I
Yeah.
apologize now if I can't move very fast.
No worries. No worries. If you want me to, I can move it as well. It's a little bit better on mine. If you just give me the call out for it, I'm happy to do it. Is your character sheet and stuff still laggy as well, or is it just the token and map?
Character sheet's a little laggy too.
Okay.
And when I pinged, I saw one frame of the ring. Five seconds. So for some reason it's being really rough for me. I don't know why.
Okay.
Corey, you did something to the map here, and now mine is all fucked up, and I can see things.
Well, that's not good. Don't ignore whatever you're seeing.
Don't worry,
I can't see anything.
it's
I can't see anything either.
it doesn't look like anything I can make out, and so I don't know what the fuck's going on now.
Well, we'll figure that out here shortly, because I might just turn dynamic lighting off on this, depending on how this goes. Okay, so yeah, you guys are at the Basilisk Corpse. Tez, you have no idea what killed this thing. It looks like it was kind of ripped open and kind of torn in parts. If anyone else wants to take a deeper look at it, they are more than welcome to.
I reloaded. I'm much better now.
All right. Anyone else poking at the Basilisk Corpse?
I'll poke at
Nope,
it.
I'm satisfied with knowing that something or some things killed it.
Okay. Finn, what's your passive perception again?
Stupid. 21.
Okay. As you're kind of looking over letting them look over the corpse, kind of looking, you do notice just out of the corner of your eye, like where the odd tracks were. You're not a tracker. You've kind of watched Taylor and Tyler do their thing every once in a while, but it's not a skill you've picked up. But you do notice those tracks, whatever the hell they are, go farther into the cave. And as you're kind of just following it line of sight out past the edge where you can see, you start hearing this like rock scraping sound coming from off to the left of the ways.
Something is up ahead of us, guys. And I'll move up to where I can see down that hallway a little bit better. Can I see anything?
How far up are you
I just
moving
moved
exactly?
like just to. It looks like there's kind of a little bend here, so I'll sneak up to that kind of corner and peek around. So I'm right here,
Okay.
and I'm looking this way. So perception, then I'm assuming.
Yep. Go ahead and make a perception check.
Since I'm looking, I can't see shit.
Yeah,
I know there's something
you're
up
still
there.
hearing
Fucking
just the vaguest noise coming from that left chamber. It's not loud scraping at this point, and even your fellow party members who are a little more perceptive as well, aren't picking up on it. But there's something over there. Something over there's falling or scraping or something.
I'll turn back and whisper, like, I can't see shit. Somebody else want to try to take a peek?
Oh.
And I'll step back.
I can look. What direction? Left or right?
Left.
Okay.
I'll scooch up here and peek around the corner. Perception?
Yep.
Okay. I'm rolling real bad tonight.
Hopefully it levels out. 10. Yeah, it's the same kind of thing. You know, you get the sense after listening, to what Finn's saying, you can barely hear the sound that he's picking up on. But you can't see it, you can't hear anything more than just a gentle scraping sound coming from somewhere in that left chamber.
I can't see anything, but I can hear it too. Should we move forward?
Yeah, I mean, I guess at this point, just creep forward and
All right.
Very carefully.
Creep forward a little bit here. Move up about 5 feet. And I'm going to turn the corner. And hit that wall. Okay. Still don't see anything. Keep going.
All right. At this point, I'm going to have everyone who's moving up go ahead and roll another stealth check.
There we go.
Okay. As you guys are moving up a little bit, just step by step by step, Tyler, you do kind of step on a misshaped rock, and it makes the softest of noise, and it's kind of just it doesn't seem that noticeable. But as Tez goes around the corner, and he sees this odd, spiky ant-like creature, which I think should be popping up on your screens now.
Oh.
Oh no!
Just as you make that noise, it turns and looks directly at Tez.
Oh, gross.
This small little thing, it's not much bigger than a dog, really, looking at it. But it kind of just stares at you, Tez. And
it's cute.
no, it ain't cute.
It's the size of a puppy. Come here.
as soon as you say that, you hear this loud screeching sound rip through the cavern as whatever this little thing is apparently didn't like whatever you guys are. So
Ooh.
I'm going to need everybody, once I clear the initiative field, because apparently I forgot to do that. Remove. I would like everybody to roll initiative, please.
Nice. All right, I get advantage because of feral instinct. Booyah.
Ooh.
I won't even roll again. That's weird. I clicked advantage and it still didn't. Must be something wrong with my toggle. Advantage toggle.
All right, let me reorder some things here since.
I wonder if advantage toggle even does anything to initiative.
I don't know.
Let me try it. I'll toggle it.
Should, but I think more importantly, I think he got a nat 20. I wonder if it does
Yeah.
more.
Doesn't look like it.
Oh,
No, because
all right.
I set mine to advantage. Advantage must not affect initiative.
All right. Works
So
for me.
if you have advantage on initiative, you just have to roll twice. Oh shit. Sorry. You can delete that other initiative. Or change it back to a 5. Instead of 17. Oh, let me change it.
Oh.
I don't know if that was supposed to happen, but it did.
Well, I've got one other thing to roll. Okay. Right off the bat, Tez, as this thing starts screaming, shaking the cavern, you're looking right at it as it's doing that. What would you like to do?
Oh, bonus action rage. So I'll pull out the old fighting lion and rage like a motherfucker, and then I will go ahead and roll a d8 whenever I think that's what it is here. Yeah, d8 for my wild magic effect. Okay, that's a 2. So a 2 is you teleport up to 30 feet to an unoccupied space you see. Until your rage ends, you can use this effect again on each of your turns as a bonus action. Nice. All right, so I can't use that now since I've already bonused. So I'm going to run ahead and charge this motherfucker. See how much movement I've got. 45. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35.
I'm figuring out the dynamic lighting here shortly.
And,
Rough.
and I will go. All right. And I will swing. Yeah, I won't Great Weapon Master or anything. So first hit.
All right. Yeah, 27 definitely hits this little thing. Go ahead, and you already rolled damage there, so yeah. With one swing, you literally obliterate this thing. It's gone.
Okay.
Like,
whack.
yeah, it took literally just maybe not even the full contact of the fighting lion, just the initial force from the head. But it's gone. It's dead, like splattered into the ceiling and wall, all over the place. And you're just kind of looking. That screaming noise has now stopped, and you're just like, oh, okay.
I'll turn around and who's behind me, Finn? Oh, Finn, that was easy.
Yeah.
And as you're listening after killing this thing, you start hearing some more skittering and kind of rumbling noises coming from within the cave walls.
Oh. Finn, do you hear that? It's in the walls.
Yep, that's probably not good.
Any other actions for you?
No, I get 2 attacks, right?
Yeah, you do.
Well, that's a weird one. I guess I can't ready my second
No,
attack,
you
can
cannot.
I? Does that make sense? For a second, I was like, I've never done that. Okay, that's
Nope.
it for me. I'm gonna go ahead and use my last what I have 10 feet to move back down towards the group,
Okay.
and I'll just hold my spot here.
All right. As you're kind of holding your spot there, you hear the skittering and the burrowing noises get louder and louder and louder as numerous creatures begin popping out of the walls.
Oh, that's not good.
Some of them a bit bigger than the one you were fighting.
Is that the red one?
And get here without completely killing Joe's computer. Because once they're out, then I'll turn off dynamic lighting. And Joe, I was going to ask, did you move up with the rest of them, or with at least Tyler? Or were you hanging back?
At the entrance of I further because it's now.
Fair. Okay. Then you watch as one or two of them pop out in front of you. And now that they're all out... Alright. How's that for killing your CPU?
Oh God, it's so nice.
Is it
I mean,
better?
I highly recommend anybody that's here watch the video later today when I post it, and you will see just how bad I am chugging. And then as soon as the light turns off, you can see I can scroll instantly, because it was just like I would scroll down like 4 or 5 clicks on the middle mouse wheel, and it'd be like 1 square.
Mm-hmm.
1 square. It was like 5-6 seconds in between every single square, and it was just like delayed. Like I hadn't even touched my hand on the mouse, and my screen was still moving. It was rough. Don't understand what exactly was causing that, but yeah, that was bad.
I think it might be just the general map shape. You guys can kind of see now. I did wall lighting for all of this, all of the cave, So I'm
Oh,
willing
yeah.
to bet it was.
Well, I think this taxes your graphics card because when I do it on my work laptop, which doesn't have a good card, it's real like shitty and juddery and laggy. But like when I was just looking at it on my computer, which has a pretty beefy one, it was like crystal fucking clear.
Yeah. Whereas I'm doing this on the work laptop and mine's not the best. So
Yeah.
it wasn't like full on stuttering, but I could definitely see where Joe was probably having issues. So yeah, we're ignore the thing over on the right. You'll get to that later. But Tyler, it is now your turn. You are now surrounded by numerous creatures, some the size of a dog, and some about your size. And more importantly, you recognize what these things are, especially the big ones, because you've seen them before.
I do not like them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
You're
this one's
finding
right
out
next to me,
they're a lot
right?
scarier when they're your size and when you're not a rat hiding in the jungle. They're just as scary.
Yeah. This one next to me can see that one, right? It's like kind of around the corner.
Yeah, no. You very quickly literally pops up in the space between you and Finn. It popped out of the wall and is just on the ground now, looking between the two of you.
All right, I'll do a primal savagery on it.
All right, go ahead and roll to attack. That definitely hits. Go ahead and roll damage. You have a solid chance of killing this in one hit, so we're gonna see. Oh. Okay. It takes a good part of the hit, but it's still standing, and it just kind of looks at you, and it's not happy, and it kind of makes this like weird, angry mewling noise, and you're just like, I can't tell if this is cute or scary, and then you look over at the two larger sized ones to your right that it was kind of making that noise at, who are now looking directly at you.
Good.
Yeah.
All
right. Tyler, God damn it, you did again. I hope one of you guys is keeping the running tally of how many times that happens.
I mean, we have all the sessions recorded for the most part, so.
Yeah, that's fair.
We can just go through.
So at some point, yeah. Taylor, it is your turn. You're at this cave entrance. You have nothing behind you if you felt like dipping out, but you have multiple Kruthix ahead of you, and more from deep. You're hearing from deeper in the cave. What would you like to do?
We'll shoot the one that's closest to me.
All right, go ahead and make that shot. That's a hit. You slay it in one.
Well, I'll use my second shot for the next one.
All right. That is a miss. As you fire the second shot, this Kruthik, kind of seeing how its brother, sibling, whatever the hell it was, died to the first one. It kind of ducks down, and the arrow just skates off its back carapace.
Damn it. Yeah, I'll just stay right here. Oh, and where's Kisa?
I don't think we settled on that. Did you guys bring Kisa with you coming down the wind line?
She was down earlier with us. I just had her held back for the basilisks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she was on the other map.
Yeah, she was on the last map.
Yeah.
In that case... There she is.
Okay. Can I have Kisa attack the one that I missed?
You can.
Nope.
Just gets a whole chunk of rock hard carapace on the outside.
Well, it was worth a shot. That's my turn.
All right, Finn, you're up as you're kind of feeling the heat, being a little surrounded. What would you like to do?
Let's see. I'm going to. How close? Tyler's pretty close, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Technically, Tyler is flanking that one with you.
Yeah, I was gonna do like Thunderstep, but if she's close enough, I don't want to blow her up.
Yeah, you'd have to do some maneuvering to do that.
Yeah. It's everything within 10 feet of the space I left. So would she be 10 feet?
She would be within 10 feet.
Okay. Then fuck it. I'm going to try to cancel a stupid spell that I didn't mean to cast. I'm just gonna move back. I'll just move back enough that I don't have disadvantage to shoot this fucker in front of me. So I'll back up here to this wall. And I have that belt that gives me advantage, or it gives them disadvantage on one attack. So this would be the first one. I'll just take the attack of opportunity to move out of the way.
All right. Disadvantage. It is going to stab at you. I'm assuming a 9 doesn't hit you.
Nope.
All right.
Cool.
Yeah, it just kind of it's kind of burning a little bit from the attack that Tyler hit it with. So it just kind of reaches out with an arm, flashes your ankle and misses.
Okay. Then I'm gonna shoot at it with Eldritch Blast.
14 does not hit. Or it does hit, but it hits the carapace and does not seem to affect the creature.
Well, I will shoot again then. See if I can fucking crack through.
Second shot, same effect, just bounces off and hits the cave wall.
God damn. Then I'll move my hex to the closest. I should have done that before I attacked him, but whatever. Since I didn't think of it, I'll move it to the closest one to me. I'll just move it to not the one that she already slashed. I'll move it to the unhit one. So this guy.
Okay, so the little one that's over there. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll say there's never a good icon for hexed, so there we go.
And that's it.
All right, it is the Kruthik's turn. So there's quite a few of them on the board now, and they're all just kind of looking at this group of intruders into their cave, and they start swarming.
Oh, shit!
Let's see. I think they all have, roughly the same move. All right. And that lone one's just going to kind of follow up. So we'll start working our way down the map. So Tez, you have an adult and 2 little ones that are just going right for you right now.
Okay.
First one, it's going to be the young one right in front of you, which, because of pack tactics, is an 18.
Hits.
5 points of piercing damage, reduced to half because you're raging.
Okay.
Second young one.
Hit.
4 points reduced to 2.
Okay.
And then the adult is going to make, because they're right up on you, they're going to make 2 stab attacks at you. Oh, that's... I left that on GM. What's your armor class?
15.
Okay, one of them hits you because I rolled just a 15. So 8 points reduced to half. Finn.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, you've got 2 adults on you as well.
Yeah, good.
Public advantage. $18 and a 19.
Yes. I'm gonna use my reaction to cast Hellish Rebuke.
All right. It's a dexterity save, if I remember.
Hold on, I'm doing it now. Yep, dex save 15.
All right. It's going to be 15, which I don't...
That was the save.
Was the save. Okay. So, is that 18? 30 points of damage total reduced to half?
Yep.
All right. 15, so 24. All right, and you took 15 points of piercing damage from those 2 attacks.
Okay, so 15.
Yep. The second one, as the first one backs up, the second one takes it, stabs at you. That's supposed to be an advantage, so... Oh, no, ignore that. God damn. Same roll. Same thing. So both of those miss for the first attack. Second attack, 17?
I think 17 is my armor class that hits.
8 points of piercing damage as the second stab comes down on you.
Okay.
Tyler, you have an adult and a young one on you, and another adult that's going to throw some spikes at you. But that's at least not an advantage. Normal. 15 hit you?
Yes.
Okay. You take 4 points of piercing damage as it throws one of its arm spikes right at you, and it just kind of sinks into your thigh a little bit.
Okay.
The Kruthic behind you is going to go for the stabby stab.
Ow.
11 points of piercing damage total.
Ow.
And then the youngin's going to go right for your ankle. 6 points of piercing damage.
Damn.
I'd like to remind you all that the little ones can be obliterated in one shot, potentially.
Oh, yeah. Oh, by the way, when I saw them all pop up that way, I hollered at Tyler to back up.
And then
Next round, I'm fucking thunder stepping.
Fair. We've got one left attacking Kisa. That one does not get an advantage because it's all alone. I think Kisa has a higher armor class than 10, right?
AC 13.
All right, she's safe. It goes for her joints, and she just kind of backs up and barks at it. All right, the swarm is calmed. Tez, you're still raging, and you're very mad. What would you like to do?
Oh, I'm very mad. What I have heard, Finn, you said you were yelling out for Tyler to back up, right?
Yeah, I just hollered at Tyler to stay back.
Okay,
I was run into the middle of these motherfuckers and cannonball them all.
Okay, I was gonna do a little teleport over there, but hearing that, what I've heard that close, he's only 10, 15 feet from me, right?
Yeah, and because you guys aren't in like a tiny or some massive cave, like there's a good amount of echo here. You're able to hear all exactly. You have a pretty good idea that there's a large ass swarm on you guys, and you're able to hear everything he's saying.
Sweet. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and smack at this one that's right in front of me.
Okay. Oddly enough, you hit it, and it doesn't seem to have any effect.
Shit, that's actually not supposed to be at advantage, but okay, nothing. Damn it.
Yeah. Either way, it's not. Yeah, you hit the armor, and the carapace just resist you naturally. It's kind of weird to see, considering how easily you obliterated the first one. You weren't expecting this much resistance, and yet it held tough.
Okay. I'm going to... Shit, I should have done this first. I'm going to take one more whack at him.
Okay.
Ooh!
That one definitely hits, and that is 19 points of damage. Which one were you hitting?
And the one that's right in front of me. I guess the one that's hexed, but I wouldn't have known he was hexed. I'm just facing him.
Okay. Yeah.
And that would have been another 2 points of poison damage.
He gets obliterated regardless. Your base damage 100% killed him.
Nice.
Yeah.
And
in case you haven't noticed yet, the little ones aren't the ones you like. They're important, but they're not the main threat here.
Yeah.
And you're kind of getting that feeling. Having just smeared 2 of them, you kind of get the sense like they might be hard to hit, but if you hit them, you're probably going to kill them pretty quickly.
Perfect.
But
Okay.
but the big one that's staring at you like at eye level is a little more disconcerting.
Okay. Well, that's it for me. I'll save my bonus action. I don't intend on using that at the moment.
All right. Tyler, it is your turn. You are mildly surrounded. What would you like to do?
All right, I'm gonna try to take this one, the baby one out that's next to me.
Okay.
With another one of these.
That is a hit. Go ahead and roll damage. Oh yeah, no, it definitely takes effect this time, and falls over and dead almost immediately on contact.
Okay, and then I'll back up so I only am next to one of these guys.
Okay, so all right, yeah, you're still within melee combat of that one, and you weren't within the first one, or the one that threw a spike at you. So, all right, anything else?
I believe that is it. Yeah, that's it for now.
All right. Taylor, it is your turn. You watch as your twin sister kind of smacks one of them, the little ones, to death, and immediately jumps over behind the larger-sized adult Kruthic, as Kisa's still engaging with the little one as well.
Yeah, I'll shoot the big one that's in front of my sis.
All right, go ahead and make your shot. Skitters off the armor. Sinks in. Go ahead and roll damage. 11 points of piercing damage. Manages to find a chink in between the carapace plates, and you watch as it kind of like stumbles for a second as it gets ready to attack your sister.
And have Kisa attack the one that's in front of her. Hopefully she'll hit.
Bites into yet another armored like crab leg. Just can't seem to.
Damn it, Kisa. That's my turn.
It's like watching a dog fight a living crab. Like, it's not going well.
I'm just going to shoot it next time.
Finn, it is your turn. You have a whole bunch of them in front of you.
Yep. I'm fucking moving over here. I'm fucking giving all these things the finger, and I'm fucking thunderstepping.
All right, so it is 10 feet within, from you, right?
Yes, everything within 10 feet of me.
All right, so the adult down by Tyler is fine, and the young one off on the right is fine, but all the other ones. Con save. Let's see, so we got 2 little ones making cons. That's a fail. That's a fail. And 2 big uns making cons. 1 fail, 1 success. We'll say the big one.
Ignore that necrotic. That's the hex. I just haven't toggled that off.
Okay, so 15 points of damage. Let's say that's the one that failed. So 9 left.
And
these
I
ones...
teleported down behind Taylor.
Right. Oh, actually, there was a third one that needed to make it. Success, so... All right. You guys all feel the rumble as Finn teleports away with thundery magic and obliterates a couple of the little ones, damages a couple of the bigger ones, and seems to shake most of the cave in general. Tez, even though you've got some distance away from it, you're kind of like sitting in an echo chamber essentially, so it almost dazes you for a second, but you kind of shake it off and you're just like, oh, that was cool.
I know what that was.
Yep. All right. And yeah, Finn's back there now. That your turn?
Yeah, that's it. I got nothing else.
All right. It is the Kruthic's turn. 2 of them are very dazed, and I'm just going to go ahead and roll d20 for each of them to see. Yeah, they're not entirely sure where you went. They're being that close to it, like the epicenter like that, and being in a cave, no less, while it's in there. Actually, there's a third one. I keep forgetting about that. The one to the south kind of like recognizes it since it was already kind of looking in that direction anyway. It sees you having moved down there. It's going to start, but it can't really get too far with the way kind of clogged up. This one isn't really sure what it's going to do, so it's just going to move around the corpses of its buddies. Those two are going to sit put. And, alright. We've got an adult and a young one attacking Tez over here. 2 stabs.
Both hit.
Alright. 8 points reduced to 4 total.
Okay.
And nat 20.
Ooh.
So 5 reduced to 3. God, that rage damage buff is really helping you right now.
Yep.
Whole bunch of non-magical attacks.
Oh, I'd be dead.
All right. Okay, so one of them is going to throw some spikes at Tyler, but not at advantage. But apparently it didn't matter because I'm rolling well. That's not great. 12 points of piercing damage to you as 2 more spikes kind of sink into your legs.
Ow.
And the one right in front of you is going to go for the stabby stabs. But it doesn't have backup, and Jesus Christ.
Ooh.
Ori!
Where are these rolls when I'm playing? Another 10 points of damage.
Holy shit.
And the youngin's gonna go for Kisa again. 13.
That's the AC.
She takes 5 points of piercing damage as one of the big crab legs manages to jab into her paw. Alright. That brings us back to Tez.
Okay. I'm going to I'm gonna disappear in a big puff of purple and black smoke here, and I'm gonna use my bonus action to teleport. Bam! Right there.
Alright.
And I'm gonna turn. I'm gonna see this one right here, and I'm going to fucking let loose. All right. And can I tell? It doesn't matter. Oh, I'll attack reckless on this as well.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Yeah, definitely hits.
I am, motherfucker.
You're
And
attacking
it's
that one right there?
the one right, the one closest to me, right there.
Okay. So,
And that would be poison damage.
Alright, so 21 points total. You hit it pretty fucking hard, and it's not looking great. You managed to like almost completely cave in one of its odd crab-like appendages, where it's kind of sagging to one side a little bit as it's looking at you, and it just kind of hisses with its giant toothy beast maw.
Ooh, you nasty little thing.
I'll swing again. Whack!
Another hit, and you don't even need to roll what type of damage. You straight up murder this thing.
There you go.
It is one dead crustacean.
Cool. You know what? I've got movement still. So I'm going to run down here. I'm going to use 10 feet, and I'm going to get in the mix of these guys.
Okay.
And that's it for me.
All right. Tyler, it is your turn. Tez has come to back you up after you take a couple more stabs and jabs. What would you like to do?
Alright, she's like, I'll be back in a minute. And she's gonna face step the hell out of there.
Fair.
And I'm gonna take dodge action this round.
Okay. That's easily done. Taylor, it is your turn as your sister appears behind Finn behind you. What would you like to do?
Shoot the one that's attacking my dog.
All right, go ahead and fire. That is a hit. And that... Oh, you are so close. It's still alive.
Oh no!
It is barely hanging in there.
Now it's not.
Now it's... God, if you had that damage roll in that first one, though. Oh. Yeah, at 2 arrows, you sink into it, it falls over dead. And for the record, all of these, whenever these things die, if anyone here has watched Attack of the Clones, when the giant crab creature ends up its body dies in the middle of the arena, and the legs kind of stand up and then splay out, very similar to that, when every single one of these dies.
Ooh.
Ugh.
All right. Any movement, directing Kisa, what would you like to do?
I'll have Kisa move back.
All right. Finn, you're up. As you're seeing, you can pretty quickly see Tez in there battling multiple of these adults at once.
Okay. Bonus action to move my hex to this guy. And then I'm going to hit him with the Eldritch Blasts.
All right, fire away.
I'll shoot both of them.
And neither hit.
Jesus.
Yeah, they both just kind of slap into the carapace and don't seem to do too much.
Yeah, that's it.
All right. The Kruthix once again swarm.
And I'll do strength for the disadvantage on that thing.
All right. Tez is one of the biggest and loudest thing in here, and yeah, they're just all going to start making their way towards him. So, Tez, you're about to take... Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 attacks.
Oh, great.
Oh,
All right, so we've got six stabs from the 3 adults, 2 each.
Okay.
what?
Two crits there. That's looking good so far.
I guess I'm just going to burn all of my nat 20s on the first day of the year and never roll a nat 20 in either one of your games. All right.
Oh.
This is just payback.
Apart from that, the 16 hits too.
And a single stab from the other one.
I
Okay,
guess the
so
20.
16, the 20, and the 2 crits. All right. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So 20, 31 reduced to half, so 16.
Okay.
That's
I'm
15. You round down.
Running down, yeah.
So yeah, 15 points of
23.
damage. It's
Cool.
not bad. That's not bad.
Jesus.
Considering you got
No.
31.
I'm all right.
Got bit fucking 4 times, and that's all the damage you took?
Yeah.
I miss playing fucking Stu. He was a goddamn monster.
Barbarians. It's so long as you're not fighting anything magical, you're set.
Take the fucking right totem path, and you get invulnerable. You get resistance to all magical attacks too.
Yep, that's true.
Everything but psychic.
And just for good measure, one of the other adult, or the one other adult that couldn't get in on the feast, is going to throw some spikes at you. Which you are surrounded, so...
Damn.
I am
3 crits.
I am never going to roll another crit ever.
No, you're going to roll plenty more by the end of the night.
What the fuck now? What we got here?
6 points total.
6,
Yeah.
okay. Ouch! I do not feel good.
Now would be a good time for another thunderstep in there. But Tez, it's your turn. You're currently literally surrounded by these giant crabs.
Yeah, I mean, that didn't feel good, and I'm feeling the heat with these guys around me. I'm going to let out a daunting roar that echoes through this fucking cave like a beast and probably hurts my friends' ears here, but I will not choose them. So these 4 that are around me, I will just roar in their faces, and they need to make DC 13 wisdom saving throws or be afraid of me. Damn it. God damn it.
So, let's say this one. God, I really wish these icons were better for stuff like that, but we'll say afraid. And the little one. Both of those ones are now afraid of you.
Okay. So that should even out their attacks on me.
For those ones, yes.
Yeah, for those two. And they can't get any closer to me than they are, which they can't anyway. Okay. And shit, you know what? With that, I'm gonna position myself a little better, and I'm gonna bonus action, and I'm going to poof right down here, right in front of everybody.
Okay.
And got my buddies with me here. I'm feeling a lot better. So you guys just see Tez just disappear in a puff of purple and black, just smoke that just dissipates and just appear right in front of Taylor. And that is it for me.
I'm popular tonight. Everybody's coming to me.
Oh, hello, Taylor. I'm
All
hurt.
right. Tyler, it is your turn.
Alright, well, I'm gonna Balm of the Summer Cord on myself. Because I am down to 16 hit points.
Probably not a bad idea.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. 1.
All right. 5 points of healing, 2 points of healing.
11, 12, 13 points of healing, and then I get 3 temp HP. Okay, and then I'm gonna cast Fairy Fire into the cave.
All right. I think that's a
Nice.
save on all of them.
This deck 16.
All right.
Save.
And it's a 20-foot radius, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna do my best to get as many as I can.
Let me make sure here.
I was thinking like
20-foot cube. So you could probably get. All right, you can get the ones over here, like the 2 that are in the back corner and the 2 adults, or you can get that group of 4 right here. So either way, you can get.
I'll get the group of 4.
All right.
Huh?
So those 4 need to make a dex save. 3 adults. 1, 2, 3. And the youngin. So yeah, none of them made it. They are all, as you guys are watching, these horrifying crab creatures that were attacking you. And they're
Nice.
all lit up. And glowing crab creatures.
They're gonna go white.
I don't have a white button for that, so you're getting green. But they are now almost bioluminescent in color in this cave as they're starting to slowly come out of the light, or into the light. Making it just a bit easier to distinguish between them and the corpses. Alright, any movement or anything?
I'm staying right here.
Alright. Taylor Redfire, as your sister has now made a whole bunch of them light up, what would you like to do?
I'm going to go ahead and shoot at this one.
Okay.
Ooh.
Definitely a
So-
hit.
I was going to say, don't
Hell
forget you have
yeah.
advantage, but you didn't need it.
Not for that.
Yeah,
Oh, I
yeah.
have
Remember,
advantage?
you do have advantage for the next
Oh.
shot. That one definitely hits, and it definitely looks hurt after that arrow.
Oh, baby.
Oh, great.
Fuck yeah.
I didn't even need the advantage, but hey, I'll.
And with that, the first of the big, or another one of the big ones, falls to the ground dead with 2 arrows, as the white bioluminescence slowly fades away from its corpse.
And my bonus action, I'm going to cast Healing Spirit right here.
Nice.
Now, buddy.
All right, Tez, you immediately start feeling a little bit better as you take 3 points of healing.
Nice.
How
And that's
big is
gonna-
that?
It's 5-foot cube, and it lasts for a minute. And every round, you get 1d6 hit points back.
Hell yeah.
It's a pretty solid second level
That
heal.
is legit.
Yeah, so if you just stand right there and don't move, you'll heal every round.
I won't move.
It's one of my favorite druid spells. It's kind of amazing.
Then I'm gonna back up a little bit.
All right. Finn, you're up. As Tez has reappeared in front of you, and one of the big ones is down, and you see some other glowing ones. What'd you like to do?
Yeah, I'm just gonna move up, so I'm not standing right behind Tez, so I can get a fucking shot. And I'll move my hex to this dickhead with my bonus action, and then I'm gonna shoot twice at him.
Okay, at advantage because he's glowing,
Yep.
and both of those hit. So 8 points of damage and 5 points, so 13 total.
And then, oh god damn it! Why is my hex not working now? It was working when I didn't want it to, and now it's not.
That showed the 1d6 hex damage on there.
Oh, it did? Oh, okay.
Yeah. 8, 12, 13, so... Alright. Yeah, 2 blasts smack right into it.
Oh, why is it auto rolling damage again? That was happening last time. And it's not adding my charisma to my damage. What the shit? Okay, well, I gotta fuck around with this for a minute. But, yeah, so I shot twice.
What's the charisma bonus to add to each hit?
4.
Okay, so 8 extra points of damage there. Okay, it's looking a little weaker now. Alright, any movement, anything else?
No, I'm a whole tight.
Alright, you're free to go ahead and mess with that then.
Okay.
As the Kruthix, now much fewer in number, are going to keep trying to swarm at Tez.
2 of them cannot.
That's right. 2 of them are going to stay put. But the little one can't do shit. But the big one can throw a spike at you
Okay.
at disadvantage. Because it's fear. I think that's the rule when it's afraid, right?
What's that? I'm sorry. Yeah, it's disadvantage. It's disadvantage.
Okay.
Ability checks and attack rolls.
I think both of those miss.
You know that 15 hits. My
Oh.
AC's 15.
You take 2 points of piercing damage.
Okay. Oh, brush that off.
And Kruthik has... That one's going to get there. And that one... Actually, that one's going to stay put right there because this one was going to move up and attack you. So another one's going to throw spikes at you. Normal. Both of those hit.
Mm-hmm.
11, roll reduced to 5. And an adult is going to attack you, and it doesn't have an immediate friend on you, so it's at normal as well for the stabby stab. Jesus Christ. 4 points of damage there. Yep.
Just ignore the next couple rolls. I'm just testing some shit I had to fix.
Okay.
So
What was that for me? 4 points of damage?
Yeah, 4 points on that last stab.
All right. Got it. Oof. Oh. Ouchie.
That looks a lot better, Matt.
Yep, that fixed it.
Okay. So yeah, you take a nice little barrage of spikes and another stab at Tez as this swarm of crab beasts. It's getting thinned out at this point, but still standing for the most part.
Okay.
But it's your turn. You've got one
As
right
am
in front of
I.
you.
Okay. I'm sick of this. I'm going to attack Reckless and Great Weapon Master.
Right?
Oh, also, I believe at the start of your turn, you get some of the healing from the healing spirit.
Yeah, you do.
That would be wonderful. Do I get that like right now?
Yeah.
I think so.
I'll go ahead and roll my attack here. So first attack. Oh my god, I hope
Yeah, whenever a creature starts its turn there, you can cause a spirit to restore 1d6 healing. No action required.
How do I just recast that easily? Just have to recast
I mean,
the
just,
entire spell?
as far as I'm concerned, just roll a d6. You need to. Tez, you said Great Weapon Master on that, right?
Yeah, it was just a really shitty roll.
Yeah, it was. Even without doing that, it missed. So,
Really?
yeah, you smack into the carapace. These things, you're starting to notice, like, they're getting through the carapace armor is a bit difficult, but once you're through, it's not hard to kill them. But this one, you take a whack at it, and you almost feel the reverberation in your arm
Fuck
from the
this
rebound.
thing. One more hit. That's better. Okay. I'm assuming that hits, right?
Yes, that one does hit.
Alright.
Were you doing... Oh, you were doing Great Weapon Master on that?
I was, yes.
It's... Is it -5?
It's -5, yeah.
Yep.
But it
Never
works
mind.
it in. It works it in there, doesn't it?
Does it?
I don't know. It's supposed to. Maybe it's not. Let's look here.
Strength proficiency plus magic.
Oh fuck! It's not. It doesn't. I had
No.
it clicked. I clicked it.
It did it
Oh,
for the damage. It does. I think it only does it for the damage.
Yep. I'm supposed to click the global attack modifier. For I'm supposed to do global attack and global damage, and I was only doing the attack. So fuck. They both miss.
Yep, they both smack into the armor and just reverberate off.
Man, fuck these things. Oh, I'm mad. Well, that's it for me. I'll just stand my ground.
All right, Tyler, it's your turn.
Okay. Let's chuck an ice knife at it.
All
This one in
right.
front.
All right, one right in front. Go ahead and roll that attack. That is a hit.
What it? Oh, okay, never mind.
Okay. So it should be...
Yeah, 14.
So it's supposed to take
Should be
D10.
10.
Yeah, it takes a D10 and then has to succeed on a dex saving throw.
Let's see if this D10 works. This D10 button.
Well, it's
That's
worked in
weird.
there,
It's
because
rolling like...
There's...
Yeah, it's rolling 2d6 and a d10 for some reason.
Well, yeah,
in mine.
the spells, it's for a first level, it's complicated. So you hit a D10 piercing damage, and then it explodes. Has to roll dex saving throw or take 2d6 cold.
Oh, right, right. Okay.
8 points you rolled for piercing, and is very weak looking at this point. Dex saving throw. Adult. But it manages to dodge the splinters of ice. It is barely standing, but it is still standing.
All right.
All right. Any other movement? Anything? Bonus action?
I'll just move right there, and I'll do another healing, like balm on our barbarian friend.
All right,
Hooray.
Tez, you get.
So you get 1 temp HP.
Okay.
And a d6 worth of healing.
Nice.
That's 1.
Cool.
Wow.
That helps.
Yep, you get a
Every
single
little
point
bit
of
helps.
health and 1 temp HP. So the bare
Woo.
minimum that she can give you, she did.
Okay. It could save my life. We'll see.
You never know. I mean, considering you're
Yeah.
taking damage in like 2s and 3s and 5s, so
Yeah.
you never know. All right, Taylor, it is your turn. There's a very weak-looking adult right in front of Tez, a kid right behind it, and some more adults behind it.
I'm going to go for that kid.
All right, that's a hit. Yeah, you killed it.
And second shot for the adult behind that.
All right. That
Damn.
skitters off the armor.
And that's it.
All right, Finn, you're up.
Okay, so I will. This one in the front's dead, right? This guy.
It's barely alive.
Okay.
It's eking out a meager existence at this point. Just waiting for someone to usher it through.
Okay, well then I'm gonna see if I can fucking help it with that.
You should still have advantage. You're still set to GM roll, but
Oh shit! Yeah.
Go ahead and roll again, just to balance it for the advantage. But you should hit the mark. Yeah, you hit.
Sweet.
And yeah, you didn't even. I was gonna say you didn't even need to roll damage. It's dead. It had 2 hit points left.
And then I'll throw my second blast at this guy back behind him, and it's not advantage because he's just.
Yep, he is not glowy.
But I don't give a fuck because I'll still
Apparently
hit his
not.
ass. There you go.
All right, 9, 11, 20 points of damage right off the shot. Yeah, slams into the carapace, manages to break it in a few pieces.
Oh, son of a bitch. If I didn't have been an idiot and moved my fucking hex, it would have done more damage. I forgot to move my hex, so take.
It auto rolled. I don't care at this point. You just we'll see you did it. Finn's been doing this long enough, it would have mattered. Like, he would have gotten it.
Alright, cool. I'll keep in mind to be better about remembering.
Alright, any movement?
No, I'm good. Tez is still in front of me, so I'm in just fine.
Good, because the Kruthix still see Tez.
Oh,
They start, I'm going to move corpses out of the way here.
Corey, I will say this too. I didn't mention it before. The 2 that were frightened, they're only frightened of me until the end of their next turn. So they're donezo at this point.
Okay, that's good to know, because they were going to freak out about what to do. But now that doesn't matter. So they're going to swarm.
I should have kept that to myself. Oh no! They're not afraid anymore.
If they were still afraid of you, they were going to burrow into the walls and try to come out behind everybody. But all 3 of them are right in front of you, and all 3 of them are going to attack you.
Oh, hello.
So we've got 1 child stab at advantage.
Hit.
Speaking of being honest, there was a 1 point earlier Tez rolled at Reckless, so when those 5 attacked him, they should have been at advantage. I'm not sure they had it. Not saying it's a really big deal, but I'm just saying I remember.
No, I think they had it for.
They
Pact-
had it.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, they had
Yeah,
it anyway.
Most
okay,
almost
I
all
wasn't
the attacks
100% sure.
have been because of pack tactics. These things are
Mhm.
Okay,
definitely
that'll work out.
swarm creatures.
Yeah, they're like thugs.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
All right, and 4 stabby stabs from the 2 remaining adults. Oh, good news! Only 2 of them hit.
Stop with the nat 20s, though.
I can't. I'm serious. This just means that I'm using up all my nat 20s for the year right now.
I think has everybody had one by now?
I mean, I've had 2, so.
I've had
Damn.
one.
I've had like
So-
I don't remember if I've had one or not.
You might be the only one.
So
Yeah,
what's
I
that?
don't think she has yet.
Is that
Yeah.
Fight's not
18
over, so.
halved?
18 half down to 9. Yep.
Oh, I'm not alive. I'm unconscious.
No.
Oh,
Oh.
Well, you've still got the healing spirit there, so when it comes around to your turn, you're going to get healed instantly and get right back up. So
That will help a
no
lot.
death saves needed.
That's true. Yeah.
That's pretty fucking cool.
I mean,
And
yeah.
that's 2 of 10 rounds so far. So just
Yeah,
keep
I mean,
track of that.
They're done swarming, so it's your turn, and you take the 1d6 healing and get right back up.
All right.
It's like the quickest concussion you've ever had, Tez.
4.
4 points of healing, you're back on your feet.
Ooh. Popped right up. Look at that timing. Okay. Well,
So-
we're still
2 of
My
them are still
turn.
glowing, and the one right in
Yeah.
front of you is not.
okay.
But
Well,
your call on which ones.
may as well keep on going reckless with this since they're gonna be hitting me anyway. And I'm not gonna get too crazy here. I'm not doing great weapon master.
Okay.
Alrighty. So fighting lion.
That's a hit. Which one are you using?
Yeah, buddy. The one that is right in. Wait. Yeah, the one right in front of me. I just realized I would have advantage on those other guys anyway, wouldn't I? Because they are.
yeah.
That's okay. That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one right in front of me that is not glowing.
Okay. Go ahead
Okay.
and roll damage. 15, 16 points of damage. Ooh, he is barely alive.
And there was thunder damage there too. And I'm gonna come back down one more time. Yeah,
All hits.
motherfucker. Hoo-hoo.
And with a splatter and a schmear, that one, no more.
Hell yeah. I'll stand my ground. That's it for me.
All right. Tyler, it's your turn. You watch as Tez finishes off one of the bigger ones and is about to get assaulted yet again by 2 more.
I'll just focus my attention on keeping him alive.
Okay.
I'll do a second level cure wounds.
Nice. Is that 17
And-
points?
Yeah.
That's 19. That's. Is it? Yeah. Yeah, that is.
Damn. All right. That's a big old boost.
And I'll do more of my summer court. Because we need it. I'll roll 2 more. So you get 2 temp hit points and 2d.
Hell yeah.
All right. So 24 points of healing total and 2 temp HP.
Yeah, buddy. All right. Feeling much better.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Tyler.
Don't die, please.
I won't again.
Taylor, it is your turn. As the only 2 left are glowing. Pick your target.
Is Tez's health doing okay now?
Oh yeah.
Tez seems to be doing pretty fine. After your
Okay.
sister's kind of worked at it a little bit.
Feel great.
Okay, I was going to toss some cure wounds, but I'll shoot.
Don't forget at advantage, either one of them or both of them are glowing. So
Okay, I'll go for the one on the right, just to get that baby out of the way if I can do it.
okay. Roll to attack at advantage. That's a hit. And that's just what you needed.
Okay.
1 arrow right into the forehead, breaks through the carapace, it falls over dead.
And that shot's on this one.
All right. How would you like to do this? You had enough.
Just
Ooh.
right through the neck.
All right. With it almost starts to shriek and squeal as it's watched all of its companions be killed. But there at the last second, an arrow pierces through its neck and it just falls over, flattened and dead. And you guys listen and listen, and you don't hear any more of them skittering around and screaming.
All right. Anybody that needs healing can step into that healing spirit.
Yeah. You got a room there for me,
Because I've
Taz?
got 7 rounds more I can use of it. So
Yep.
I'm like,
Can more than one person be in it? I can step
it's
out.
5 foot. Like on your turn, you could step in, get the healing, and step out. So I believe that's how we can rule it.
oh,
Okay.
cool.
So like you
Yeah.
can step into it, get the heal, and then step out. Then somebody else's turn, step into the heal, get it, and step out.
I'd
Nice.
say if you guys wanted to keep it like initiative order, yeah, you could, in theory, also, like, all of you take 7 rounds of healing as you just walk through it.
That works for me.
Yep.
Yeah.
I sure do need it.
Yeah,
So,
I
yeah.
mean, I got fucking chomped up a little bit.
I'll let you guys do your healing up then.
Yeah. Cool.
Well, there will be a total of 21 healing for 7 rounds if everybody steps through it. I would definitely
Nice.
have Kisa get up there for a few rounds. So I'd get her back up to 43.
So we all get an extra 21 just stepping in and out doing that.
Yeah, for the next
Nice.
Play the fucking hokey pokey for
42 seconds. Yeah.
Awesome. Oh yeah.
Take advantage of that spell. It's a damn good spell.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Oh, I feel much better.
Yeah, no shit.
These are nasty little things, weren't they?
Mm-hmm. So we were getting like a reward per little beastie, right? I mean, they weren't going to pay us a dick, but I say we would negotiate that price up significantly.
I think we need to cut their heads off.
Well, there's at least 12 more here. So,
Yep.
not counting that basilisk, we didn't kill that. So,
What the fuck? We aren't counting it.
all
We
right,
killed that.
Yeah, that counts.
We
Okay,
killed it
then.
with our bare hands.
Goddamn right.
Greedy bastards, but okay. That was
What?
not. That was just
Dude,
in my
with
head.
all that,
That was in my head.
with all their fuck assery, I'm charging them every fucking penny we can get down here, making us rent equipment to get to where they wanted us to do their job.
You fucking capitalists.
It's bullshit's what it is.
Fuck capitalism.
Not a good way to start a fucking relationship. I plan on bringing that matter up with the fucking boss when we get a chance.
Still doesn't change the fact that you guys are greedy, but that's fine.
Right. We need
Anyway.
to survive.
You guys are working on collecting all the Kruthic heads then?
Yep, while Tez is doing that dirty work, I'll take a fucking short rest, get those spells back.
I'm
Okay.
chopping heads off, baby.
Yeah, I'll take one too.
All right. As the both of you start taking
Chop
each
those
Kruthic
heads.
Kruthic
Chop
head
those
and
heads.
the basilisk head, being very careful not to like take any of the basilisk that looks pre-damaged, that just to make sure there's no questions about it. You guys do, as you start taking the heads up here, you start noticing this faint purplish pink glow, almost like a light coming from the tunnel down this way.
Oh,
I'll make my way back down.
I know you're all resting, but I spotted something deeper into the cave.
Oh shit. Okay.
Well, I don't know if it's dangerous or not, but it looks a little suspicious.
I'll if old Finn's coming with me, I'll
Yep.
kind of point him in that direction.
Right there. Do you see that?
I'm assuming I can see it when he shows me.
Yeah, you start, as you're standing where you are, you're able to kind of see a little bit of the light kind of cascading around the corner. You don't see directly what's creating the light yet.
Oh, wait.
I'll move up.
Finn, wait.
What?
I have to show you something.
Okay.
I'll walk up next to him.
So, you've seen some magic, appear around me. I can't really control it, but there's one thing that I can do.
And I will I'll use my bolstering magic, Corey, and I'll throw this in here. And I'll just touch I don't know if this matters or not for him. I'll touch Mr. Finn there, and for 10 minutes. Let's see here. Oh wait, that's not the one. I'm sorry, that's not the one I want. Magical awareness. Let me do this. That's my bad, guys. Okay. So I can. It's kind of like detect magic. I think until the end of my turn, know the location, and I can tell what it is. Like sense what kind of spell, if it is magical or not. Like what kind of school of magic it is.
Okay. You open up your consciousness, and at first you don't really feel anything.
Doesn't feel like anything. It may not be magic.
Let's get closer and check it out.
I'll make my way forward.
Okay. The glow, it's almost like pinkish and purple, like shifting colors. Seems to get brighter and brighter as you go the farther in. Eventually rounding.
At this point, I'm going to get curious.
All right.
Join in.
As you guys begin to round the corner, you see very easily identifiable there some kind of rift or portal that's shedding out this purple pinkish light.
Oh, what is that?
Looks like some sort of portal.
Let me see. How long does your magic awareness last?
Till
Till the end of your next turn.
Not long.
I mean, you have enough movement, I'd say, by the time you activated it and walked it up.
It's not
now that you're closer and directly looking at it, it's almost weird. Like when you didn't have eyes on it, it didn't really flag as anything. It was, just some lights off into the distance. Now that you're staring directly at it, it's almost like whatever essence you have that normally taps into magic is like, oh, how did I miss that? It's not necessarily a spell, but it's definitely some kind of magical effect and relating to the conjuration school.
Finn, you know much more about this, but I have a strong sense that this has something to do with conjuration. Does that mean anything to you?
That doesn't mean shit to me, dude. Like I'm not that kind of magic.
I'll turn back to Taylor and Tyler.
Either of you know anything? I know you're attuned to nature, but conjuration.
Being elves, and being Eladrin elves who already have face step, you both are vaguely aware that conjuration typically is either summoning stuff or teleportation.
It's probably a portal to somewhere.
Kind of look at everybody. Do you think these things were popping out of this portal? What's it doing in here? Did somebody put it here? I want answers.
Can Finn look at it? Or can I send your friend to look at it?
Yeah, I don't think we have that kind of relationship. It's mostly just they tell me stuff. I'll get closer to it. Can I see anything through it?
Finn, I have an idea. Okay. What if you sent your friend Elvis through there?
Oh yeah, I might.
Yeah.
Or I got these I can pull all kinds of this weird shit out of this bag.
As you get a little closer to try and take a look, all you're seeing is just a shimmering field of purple and pinkish energy that seems to just roil beneath a very thin film almost. It's not lashing out with waves or anything, but it's almost like watching a bag of water be shaken around a little bit. Like there's just an inherent movement just underneath the surface.
Kind of creepy.
Yeah. I'll send Elvis through.
Okay. You summon Elvis and tap into his senses as he goes through. Senses go dead. You lose your connection.
Oh, that's certainly more than 100 feet, so...
Oh. So what does that mean, Finn?
I mean, usually if he loses contact, he'll just come back. That's the standard thing that we work on.
Yeah, about a minute later, he comes back. Just flies through the portal.
Can he... I'll talk to him psychically, because I can. And he can show me pictures, and he can communicate using pictures and feelings.
The immediate feeling you get from him is curiosity and fear. And you really only get one image. It's almost like he kind of, as soon as he got in there, realized he was not in a place he wanted to be and was trying to get out. But you do see what looks almost like some kind of temple or church or like ritual site. It's kind of hard to describe from his from the vantage point he took. You're not getting a whole lot of sight with it. It's very limited by what appears to be some stone architecture, but you're kind of able to see almost like a stone dais with something on it. But that's about the extent of what he got before he decided to get the hell out of there.
Oh, makes sense. I'll tell everybody else. I mean, he lived. He didn't die, so I mean, should we go through?
He also did not. From what he saw, he didn't see anything living in there.
Tez is sort of getting
he would
a
relay
little.
that.
He's getting a little antsy. Nothing
Yeah.
living, you said?
Yeah, from what he saw, he did not see anything moving or living or anything like that.
Oh.
But it was this odd sense of dread as soon as he stepped through.
Oh.
Yeah,
Well,
he didn't like dig it.
There's a saying from where I'm from, and it's curiosity rewarded the cat. So maybe we could look through and see if there's something adventurous through there. Maybe there's more of these things and we can kill them and get more money.
Or we could go renegotiate our deal with these fucking dudes and factor in this portal to someplace that seems super creepy.
And potentially deadly.
Mm-hmm.
If we tell them about it, they might send a mage down here or something.
Yeah. Like, this doesn't have to be an us problem.
That's true.
Yeah, dude, Elvis was real fucking sketched out by whatever's on the other side of this little pink wall, so I would be completely cool with just withdrawing and then telling them about the shit and let them figure it out.
Yeah, we were told to investigate,
Yeah,
kill
just say,
anything
hey,
that...
by the way.
Yeah, we killed a dickload of basilisks.
Kill what you find and investigate what's causing things. We have a possible cause, so... I don't mind going back and talking to him.
Certainly the safest
sounds like a
option. Okay,
That we can rest, too.
Yeah, I need to go to bed at some point.
Yeah, some of us are a little tapped.
Okay.
Yeah, how late is it at this point?
A little bit. It was close to noon when you guys originally went down there. It's still like early mid-afternoon at this point.
Okay. Okay. Have I collected all the heads? Enough of them at this point?
Yeah. Between you and Tyler, you were able to collect the 15
Tyler,
heads
was you?
that were in this cave, one basilisk and 14 Kruthik. And Tyler, and in the process of doing that, you are now 100% certain that these things are nearly identical to the things you saw on the island.
What island was that? The Aarakocra Island?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, when she had her
Everyone
little
was
adventure.
fucking dying.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, when the Light Blades and Imperial Guard were getting ambushed from their occupation by weird creatures burrowing up out of the ground and running through the jungle. It was these things.
Maybe this portal goes there.
Oh. Well, that's an interesting thought. So before seeing these on the island, you never knew what they were.
Yeah. My
And for
first
the
time seeing
record,
him was back there.
I've said Kruthik a few times. You still, like, as far as you're concerned, these are giant crab monsters. You've never seen anything like this.
Oh, maybe we should collect ourselves. There's still sun up today. We should collect ourselves and take our reward back.
I think that's like a solid plan.
Take the heads back, yes.
Yeah.
And we will let them know about this, yes or no?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, they probably need to be aware of some kind of weird portal to a spooky other place.
Okay.
In their mind.
Okay. Let's do it.
All right, you guys finish collecting the heads, start heading back down the path. Is anyone keeping an eye out? You guys, like, heading back through the one encampment area, there are a few, like, torn up basilisks, as well as the basilisk heads in your initial combat zone. Are you collecting those heads as well?
I believe we
Yes.
collected those
Every
heads last time.
basilisk head available.
I believe last time we played, we collected the ones that we fought earlier and the harpy heads.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think that's how I got my spell points back. Because I
I have a
also
shitload of heads.
rested and watched them prepare. Amazing casting spells.
Yeah. So in total, you guys have a whole bunch of meaty sacks containing 14 Kruthic heads, 5 basilisk heads, and 2 harpy heads. You guys are just
It's a whole lot of heads. We are just dripping with goo.
Yeah.
Ooh. Oh yeah, we're a mess for sure.
But yeah, you guys head back down the path, eventually meeting back up with Garuk, who just looks at you guys. You all right?
Oh, hi, Garuk.
Yeah,
Thanks for the
dude.
help.
For the most
for
part.
sure.
I mean, you seem fine, so
No, it really wasn't that bad.
I'll just
Cool.
keep walking past Garuk.
it's all right. She didn't even like acknowledge your existence.
Nah. Nope.
Typical Garuk fashion.
Whatever.
But yeah, eventually you guys make it back to the point on the wind line where you can hook back up if you wish to.
Okay.
Finn, you
well,
have
Yeah.
a gauntlet.
do we have like anything to put all this shit in? I know we brought down some
You
like
guys have some various like sacks, and you found some stuff like
cargo
know.
webbing, right?
yeah, it's nothing like super durable or blood resistant. Like it's anything you try to put these things in, it's gonna drip blood. But yeah, you have. I mean, there's plenty of material, like carrying material from the mining encampment. You could probably stitch something together to hold all of them.
I say we do that.
All right, cool. Easily done. Yeah, you guys have a giant, or your call on it if you want it to be one giant thing that Tez tries to haul around, or you guys all take bits and pieces, but there's plenty enough for either option. Essentially, yeah, you guys have the heads and are just leaking blood like a blood trail wherever you go.
Ooh, yucky.
Sweet.
Fuck yeah.
Well, it'll eventually stop leaving a mess.
I mean, yeah, eventually. Not for a while, but eventually. But yeah, you guys ready to hook back up to the wind line and head back up?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh yeah, full speed again.
Full speed ahead.
All right. Anyone who's going at full speed, I need you to roll a Constitution saving throw.
I'll do it. Oh, I'm good. Probably.
I still had advantage on, but I still got the 21 as the first roll. So
First roll. So yeah, you both are fine. Tyler, you're not feeling too good after that. It was a little disorienting fighting in the cave and fighting those weird ass monsters. Plus, just remembering that first experience with them, you start feeling a little sick as you're riding the wind line that fast. Finn, you take to it pretty quickly though.
Ooh.
And it's one of the most exhilarating feelings you have ever had.
yeah, it's fun.
It's almost like the first time you recognize that you had power. That level of like excitement and like oh, this is a thing now.
Yep. Oh, I should definitely buy one of these. Or I'm just gonna keep this one.
But yeah, pretty quickly for a trip that initially, when Finn tried to take it, using magic and his own feet, took him close to 2 hours to get down there. It takes you guys less than 10 minutes to get back up to the point where you had embarked originally, not too far from the Windline Company main office. But you're back in Yord.
Let's go find that fucking stupid foreman that sent us on this little mission.
Who is it? Golfer? Was that it? Or was that the little?
That was the little goblin dude who ran the
That was
shop.
the goblin.
Okay. You didn't get the name of the guy who was working at the Windline Company. He was just some clerk that you were talking to.
Okay.
But you still remember where the employee entrance or contractor entrance was, so you head in there, find another clerk, different guy this time. But he just kind of looks at you guys and sees the giant mess you guys are bringing in. I take it you're the contractors that were sent out to go clear out the mining camp?
Yep. We need to talk to somebody in charge. I think we need to renegotiate that little arrangement.
That was yucky.
Yeah. Yeah, hold on a second. Let me get my supervisor. He goes and walks away a little bit.
Capitalist.
I mean, we just might need to remind him that
Damn
we
you.
killed these things, and we could do as much damage here if we needed to.
Ooh, I know what you mean.
Let's intimidate last.
Oh, no, for sure. It's
Last resort only.
definitely. It's on the table, though.
Okay, just let me know what I need to do. I'll look and roar at them.
Like the big roar or like the little one?
Oh, really big one.
Nice.
I'll scare the
Eventually,
pants off 'em.
the clerk comes back, this time with an individual Earth Ganassi with short, stubbly black hair on top, dark, almost stone-colored skin, his eyes kind of glowing like a deep red and purple in spots as he walks up. Yes, hi, I'm the shift supervisor, Jaffrey. Can I help? Oh,
Yeah. Y'all's mom's a fucking mess. Yeah, about
Well-
5 basilisks, a couple harpies, a bunch of these little what are they called?
You don't know the name.
There's these little crab.
Do I know them? I don't
bugs.
even know.
No, you've seen them, but you have no idea the name or anything like that.
These little fuckers
Okay.
came out of the wall. That was super cool.
Um,
We found a bunch of your workers down there turned to stone. I'm pretty sure the rest of them got eaten.
you said basilisk, so
Yeah, that's what those that big bag over there, those are basilisk heads.
okay. Yeah. All right. What did we? He starts going through the notes. What did we originally have you contracted?
Yeah.
For, Ed?
I believe it was 10 gold. That's not going to work.
Yeah, I would agree with that. That
I think
seems.
it was 5.
He starts like looking at one of the weird the crab heads and kind of pokes one of the teeth and knocks it in. Like, oh.
The rest of the bodies are down there. These shells are hard as shit. A couple of them got crushed by big dude and his hammer, but I mean, I don't know what you guys salvage, but that might be worth something too.
It's not really our thing. Our thing is more the wind line system, but we can get in contact with other people in the city who will perform the salvaging operation, as well as the mining company who originally set up that site.
Also, we probably need to talk to somebody about that mine itself. There's some sort of portal down there.
Portal? What?
It's pink, hazy.
Okay, that's different. He just starts taking down details, everything you're giving him at this point. I can do. See, carry the one. Well, we were expecting something similar to the basilisk. There's 5 heads for that. The 10 gold. Yeah, that still seems fairly fair. I'm not sure what these crab things are, but you said they came out of the walls?
Mm-hmm.
I can do 15 gold each for each one of those heads.
That doesn't sound bad.
That sounds terrible.
Do I know what that island is called, Corey?
What's that?
Do I know what the island was called that we went to?
I want to say you
We're
should.
full of these things.
Yeah, it had a name.
Yeah, it had a name.
Okay.
But you also weren't sure if they were like an indigenous thing or not. So. Where'd that go? I think it was Anchor Island or something like that.
Okay. Let's see.
Yeah, 15's fine. That's acceptable. What about these 2 harpies?
I mean, harpies typically go for less than a basilisk, but I'm not going to dispute the report. It sounds like there's some things that need to be investigated down there, so I'm fine with keeping it at 10 gold as well.
Okay.
All right, so let's do the final tally here. Got 70 for both the harpies and the basilisk, and then for those, God, I can't do math in my head anymore. 210, so 280 gold total. All right, let me cash you out here. He goes, takes the slip he'd been writing on, drops it into a box real quick, opens up a chest, starts just scraping a whole bunch of gold coins in, puts it on the table in front of you. 280 gold for a job well completed. Plus, we threw in an extra 50 gold in there for taking care of this so quickly, as it looks like you took this job literally today.
Yeah, we'll fuck around.
Yeah, apparently. Do you guys have a business card or anything like that we can take? We would love to hire you again.
Yeah, I mean we don't really have a business card, but we're staying at the name of the inn that we're staying at. Anybody?
Don't remember.
The big one on the way into town that
I might
everybody
have it.
stays
Hang on.
at.
Inn of the
I'm just-
Broken Skies.
That's literally exactly
Yes,
what I
the Inn
figured
of the
that'd be
Broken
like.
Sky.
It's the big one on the way into town that everybody stays at. The Inn of the Broken Skies. Perfect. That's the one.
Okay, I can write that down. Do you guys have a mercenary company name or anything? Or are you guys incorporated?
The Wolfpack.
Or the
Yes.
Wolfpack.
Yep.
Wolfpack. Interesting. Okay. You should probably get that trademarked pretty soon. It seems pretty iconic.
I'm a lion. We may change it.
Oh, that's true.
You are in fact a lion. That's a good
I'm
point.
not a wolf.
Well, neither am I.
But
Kisa.
he kind of looks over to the back, like the door behind you guys, where Kisa's sitting outside. I mean, you do have a wolf, though.
Oh, yes. Kisa's
Yeah,
our
she's
mascot.
our mascot.
Yes, she's our mascot.
Exactly.
Maybe we'll be fine.
All right. Yeah, I'll take I got your guys' information. Appreciate you doing business with the Windline Company. Thank you for taking care of this, and we'll have some people look into the things you were reporting down there, that portal and whatever seems to be going on.
Okay.
Is there any way we can get an audience with Merrick at some
Vareth.
point?
I'm assuming you mean Vareth.
Yes, Vareth. I wrote Merrick down.
He's typically pretty busy. Can I ask what this is in regards to?
Busy for us?
Well, you guys are
Cool.
no offense. I appreciate the good work you guys just did, but I mean, you guys are some strangers that just came in to get some gold off the street.
Dope.
Can I
mean, that portal's kind of weird.
Right, but that's not necessarily his purview. I mean, our main concern was getting the wind line constructed down there. If you have a reason for meeting, I can see if he's willing to meet soon, but...
Okay. Just wondering.
Okay.
So you said you guys just built the wind line. So you said somebody else owns the mine?
Yeah. Essentially, someone was wanting to set up the mine down there, so we were setting up the wind line so that they had an easy access to it.
Who owns the mine?
I believe... Looks like it's a small time firm based out of Oakland. They're trying to expand up here in the mountains. Figured that Yord might be a good place to do it. They're called Blackfoot Mining. Looks like it's a dwarven company based out of Oakland.
What was it? Blackfoot?
Blackfoot Mining.
Well, what if we should talk to them about that weird magic portal? Do they have a representative in the city?
Let me check their information. He starts kind of just pouring through some contact cards, almost like a Rolodex that he has sitting there on the main clerk table. Let's see.
I mean, you guys had to work with somebody. to
Right. I mean, he
coordinate
was in
building
town
the
for a
wind
little
line.
bit. When we ran into this
Oh.
problem about 5 days ago. He might have had or gone back to Oakland to see about getting resources to help with it. Actually, yeah, it looks like he left about 2 days ago, from what we recorded. But he did say he was going to be back on. Looks like he was planning on being back on the 8th, which you guys would know it's currently the 5th.
Cool. Well, all right. Well, maybe we'll find him when he gets back.
Fair enough. If you're still around that time, we can try and put you in contact.
Yep. Well, and I mean, we didn't mean to be overly forward with wanting to meet like the big boss, but we've just heard about all the stuff he's into, and we're looking to make a name for ourselves. So we were just inquiring. But yeah, if you have any other work for us or anything else that we could do to help become less of 5 strangers who showed up willing to do a job for money, send that business our way. We would be interested in developing more of a relationship with your organization.
Go ahead and roll a persuasion check for me.
Fuck it.
Okay. He just kind of looks at you as you're making this. I appreciate you understanding that Master or Mr. Vareth is very busy. If he has the moment and any inclination, I will be glad to send him a message regarding you wanting to meet up. But as far as any additional work, we don't have anything at the moment, I don't believe. But as soon as we have something, if you're planning on staying at the Inn of the Broken Skies for a long amount of time, I'll make sure we send anything your way. We appreciate your good business.
Can we keep these sweet gauntlets?
He kind of looks. He's like, "You guys did technically loan them. I go ahead and roll a persuasion check as well."
Okay.
I'm just fucking keeping back with that because mine is not loaned. Mine is acquired.
Yeah, I assume you hid yours and
Yeah.
didn't just leave it on your arm.
No, I got stowed in the backpack.
Okay. 11. Kind of looks at you. I can't just give them to you because they are fairly expensive items, but we could sell them at a marked down discount. They're typically 200 gold each, but we could part with your 4 here. Oh, sorry, 3. No, 4. Yeah, I forgot the silent one over in the corner there. That still has one. We could part with these 4 for, let's say, 350 gold total for all 4.
I don't want one.
Anyone else who does still want one? Garuk at that point goes and puts hers back up. Says, no thank you, not right now.
I mean, how often are we going to be here to use them?
I'm saying. Plus, I'll let you guys borrow mine.
I don't think we need them.
Yeah, I don't think we need them. I mean, we could probably take them on loan if we have more work down there, but I don't think we need to get our own specific ones.
That
How much
works as well.
would it be just for one then?
We'll go ahead and we'll take those back if you aren't purchasing them, and you can have your blood back from the loan. More than happy to give that back.
How much would it be just for one?
Just for one, I'd say 80 gold.
I'll do it.
Okay. Go ahead and mark off the 80 gold, and you now have a Windrunner.
Oh,
Sweet.
you got a good deal on that.
And Matt, yeah, whatever I told you earlier, that's the name of it. I think I just said like Windline Gauntlet or whatever.
Yes.
I couldn't remember what I named them.
Windrunner. That'll work.
All right. He takes your gold, marks off your name from the list of loans, takes back the other 3, and hands the 3 vials of blood that were given as collateral, or 4 vials of blood total. All right. Well, you guys don't have any further business. Well, like I said, I'll reach out if we have any other further work for you guys.
Sounds good.
All right. Have a happy day, and
Oh, happy
enjoy
day.
the skies.
Thanks.
Goodbye.
All right. And with that, you guys leave the Windline Company, heading back out into the main square there. Let's go ahead and take a quick 5-10 minute break so everybody has a chance to do whatever they need to.
Sounds good to me.
All right.
Go.
We'll be back shortly.
Yep, be right back.
I'm back.
Welcome back. I just got back too.
Cool.
I just switched my headset, and I'm going to apologize because apparently my maintenance people here for my complex thought that 9:30 at night was a good time to go out and start shoveling all the steps and sidewalks and take a leaf blower to the snow.
Nice.
I thought that's what I heard in the background, but you sound actually a little bit better now, so...
Yeah,
Mhm.
instead of using my generic webcam mic, I switched my headset so that I can't hear them as much. So if you hear them more, I apologize.
That sounds fine right now, so...
I think they're at the other end of the complex. That might help. They were
probably.
right outside my building earlier.
Yeah, we could tell. I was wondering, who is running a motorcycle right behind you?
Yeah. Leaf blower for snow. Gotta love it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
All right, but we are all back, so let's go ahead and jump right back into it. So, you guys are leaving the Windline Company. As you guys are, Garuk kind of looks over at you guys. I'm gonna head back to the inn. I'll see you there.
Bye, Grook.
All right.
See ya.
Okay.
But the rest of the day is yours. It's currently mid-afternoon, getting towards late afternoon at this point. Sun's getting a little lower in the peaks. What would you like to do?
What else
that
were
was
we
kind of
supposed to
our.
do?
That was our main plan, right?
Well, didn't we have some stuff to get identified?
We do need to identify our stuff.
Oh, yes. Now, where do we go to do that?
I don't know.
And they gotta have some magic shop in town.
Yeah, I can't remember from our intro if there was any place. I guess we could just go back to the inn and ask. I'm sure they'll know.
All right. Are you guys heading back there?
Yeah, might as well. We pretty much put in a hard day with work today. It's not like we have to keep hustling.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go.
Oh, and we're 100% not going to talk to that mine company about that portal, right? Because he's going to get back from Oakland with, I'm sure, fresh stories of our wanted status.
Oh.
You got a good point.
That is a good point.
All right. So with that discussion, you guys head back to the Inn of the Broken Skies. Going into the main area, you see no sign of Garuk anywhere in the room, but that seems pretty normal. Pretty quickly finding an empty table, flagging down to get some drinks. What would you like to do?
I mean, fuck, might as well eat and fucking chill and ask whoever brings their food if they know somebody in town that can identify magic stuff.
How do we split that gold up for how much we got each?
Oh, yeah.
Was it 330 total, or?
Yeah, 330.
Okay, divided by what, 5?
Yep.
There's 330 total?
Yep.
66 each.
That's what I got.
Cool.
Cool.
I like it.
All right. Yeah, you're all 66 gold richer.
Cool.
And then, as you eventually flag someone down, it's a different waitress this time. Just human girl kind of comes up as she takes your orders. So, is there anything else I can get you besides these drinks?
Yeah, we need some magic items identified. Is there anybody in town that does that kind of thing?
I don't think anyone in town typically does. Every once in a while, we get someone that comes up and does it. And I think even the proprietor here might be able to. Let me check and see.
I'll be right back with your drinks and with the information. As she goes off to the main bar, puts in the drink orders and seems to talk with one of the runners that seems to be a little more in charge. Eventually gets the drink orders, comes back, puts it down. Looks like, depending on what the item is, our proprietor might be able to identify it. He's not the best at it, since it's kind of more of a offbeat skill of his, but we might be able to find someone who was staying here last night who seemingly has that capability as well, depending on, if we're able to track him down or not.
Oh, hooray.
Cool.
Just need to know which one you want me to go with first. I can go get the boss, or I can go I can send someone out to try and track this guy down.
What do you guys think? Think about try the innkeeper.
Yeah, I mean,
Sure.
that'd be fine.
He's here now.
All right, let me go get Mr. Dorius. And she leaves your drinks there, wanders up to the 5th floor. She's gone about 30 minutes. Eventually, she comes back and says, Mr. Dorius would like to have you guys come up to his office, and he might be able to try and help you out here. He did want me to advise you. He's not a wizard or anything like that. This is just a skill he can do every once in a while with certain kinds of items, but he might be able to help at least a little bit.
Yeah.
All right. I'll lead you up to his office. And with that, she heads up to the 5th floor again with you guys in tow. Takes you back. The 5th floor, you guys had kind of seen. The 2nd, 3rd, and 4th floor are kind of all rooms. The 5th floor, there's a couple of like really nice, not like penthouse level or apartments or anything like that, or rooms, but it's a little more luxurious this higher up. But off in one of the corners, there is kind of a sealed away room labeled office, and inside you do see blue-skinned, dark-haired individual, looks to be some kind of Aragonasi, very well dressed in blue and silver leathers. You've kind of seen him flitting around between some of the different bar tender stations down on the main floor during busy hours. But he just kind of, at this point, he's just kind of sitting at his desk going over some papers when you come in. Yes, hi. I was told you guys might have some items needing identified. My name's Sleet, Dorius Sleet.
God damn it.
Don't act like you don't know what this is about.
No, I 100% know what this is about.
He just looks at you expectantly with blue eyes.
Well, I guess. Yeah,
we got a few things.
Right. Got a few things he'll get looked at.
Yeah. Can I see the items? Yeah, I can. Like I said, I had Millie out there tell you I'm not a wizard or anything, but like every once in a while I can do this kind of thing, depending on the item as well, and for a fee, of course.
And I assume you're discreet as well.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, my discretion is implied as soon as the gold hits the table.
So how's this work? You tell us if you can identify them, and then
I can kind of get a gist of if I can identify it before you pay me to identify it. Yeah. I just need to know what objects they are.
I get the ring out, put it on the table.
Okay.
What did I have? A string of some kind, like a bowstring?
You had a bowstring.
Okay. I know I wrote it down somewhere. I just can't remember where.
I don't think I had anything, did I?
You had a possibly broken pocket watch.
Oh, that's right.
And Garuk would have given you the bracers knowing you were looking for someone to identify your stuff. Since she is currently unavailable. But you also, you have the bracers that she bought.
Okay.
All right. So the 3 items are placed on the table in front of him. He just kind of looks at them. Peers at each one of them deeply a little bit. Looks at the ring pretty intently. Won't be able to tell what that is. You might need to get someone who's a little more arcanely talented for that one. That one's well beyond my mark.
All right.
Stares at the bowstring. I think I can get an idea of what that is. I can't guarantee I'll be able to identify every component of it, but I can at least get you pointed in the right direction of how to use it. And then he looks at the bracers. Oh, those seem pretty simple. Yeah, I can definitely identify those ones. And I'd say for the 2 items that I can identify, we'll call it 10 gold total.
I mean, that seems legit.
Yeah, we can do that, and I'll pay it.
Okay. He picks up the bowstring first, just kind of plays with it in his hands a little bit before eventually you watch as he holds it in one set of fingers and then drags his finger down the entire length of the bowstring. And as he does, there's almost like this small, like crackling pop, almost like listening to Rice Krispies when it gets hit with milk, as he runs his fingers down the bowstring.
Nice.
This is going to have some fun. I recommend putting that in your bow and shooting a couple arrows at some things that you don't like. And I'll send you the item card for it later, but you have a bowstring of blasting.
Ooh.
That sounds like fun.
He then picks up the bracers, kind of tosses them over a little bit. He watches his eyes flash with an like weird yellow light in them as he looks it over. And whoever wears these is going to be feeling very strong whenever they wear them. Not like physically strong, but like hardy and healthy wise. Like they might not be able to lift a wagon, but they'll probably be able to carry it for a good long while. Or pull it. So if someone wants to write down the bracers of fortitude, I'll send that to Garuk later, whenever I catch up with him. But since you guys are here, I'll give you just a quick rundown because I'm lazy and I can't seem to find where I wrote them down originally. Joe, the bowstring of blasting, you get 3 per day. You can deal 2d6 force damage on a shot.
Damn.
You call the shot before you make your attack.
What'd you say it was? How much damage?
2d6 force damage.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, you call the shot before you make it. Regardless if it hits or not, it does explode on whatever it hits. You know, if it lands off in the wilderness or whatever, it still goes off. But
fair enough.
You get 3 of those per day. And then bracers of fortitude, whoever wears them, their constitution automatically becomes 20.
Damn.
But yeah, he hands the items back to you, takes the gold, and he keeps looking at that ring that you put on the table there, Tyler, and he's just like, whatever that is, you might want to be careful with it. I have no idea what it is, but that's the only sense of what I could get was I probably shouldn't mess with that.
Oh. Where did you say that the closest magic shop was?
I didn't. We don't have a magic shop or anything here in Yord. We're
Okay.
Somebody in town. So there's somebody in town that might be.
Everyone's because Yord is so far out of the way, and we don't have our own magic shop. A few of our more industrious civil leaders, we like to tempt journeyman mages, wandering mages, essentially, to come up and visit every once in a while, just to fill any quotas that might be needed. We did have a journeyman mage who was in town last night, a half-elven fellow by the name of Ruderin. I don't know if he's still in town. We haven't seen him come back in today, but he was in last night, and it didn't sound like he was leaving just yet. So if you stick around on the bar tonight, we might be able to flag him down and send him your way.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be here.
Okay. We can definitely, if we see him, we'll send him your way.
Well, thanks.
No problem. And he quickly puts the bag of gold into his desk and closes the drawer on the desk. I appreciate your business, and just between you and us, don't mention to anyone that I can do this. We try to keep that on the low profile. As a service that gets offered for maybe not high roller clients, but those who are a little more discreet and willing to pay for such things.
Do what?
Sounds good to me.
Did he get any kind of vibe off the watch?
Kind of takes a look at it. I think it might be broken. And I think if there is any kind of arcane power to it, it won't work while it's broken. So if you know anyone that can fix a clock or a watch or anything like that, might have them take a look at it.
I don't meet a lot of watchmakers in my line of work.
There aren't that many of them around. I know there's a really good one back in Hilltown. But I think and there might be one in Corda. Maybe even one in Elvenon by now. I'm not entirely sure. I don't know, but there's a few around. It's typically the major cities that you see them in.
Cool. I'll keep it in mind.
All right. Well, enjoy your time in the bar, and like I said, we'll send down Ruderin if we see him.
Do you know anybody in town
Alrighty.
that needs assistance? We're available for work.
What kind of work do you do?
General things of fairly violent nature.
We're good at killing things.
Oh, like mercenaries. Okay, okay.
Researching?
That's a bit quick to leap to that.
Like general
contractors.
Okay.
I mean, we just
Couldn't
cleaned
look into
cleaned like 5 basilisks and a bunch of these big mutant crab bug things and 2 harpies out of a mine camp. Like that sort of level of work.
Gotcha. Okay. I might have something for you. I have to check with an associate of mine, but if you're staying here tonight, I can have some details slipped to you in the morning at breakfast.
Yeah, maybe we should be around for like a while, right? Like we're not looking to get out of town anytime soon, are we?
Not that I'm aware of.
I don't really know.
Just looking to make some friends in Yord.
Well, we try to be friendly, despite our typically non-human population, but...
Yeah. I don't like most humans either.
Well, I like anyone who pays. So, like I said, I'll have the details if there is a job slipped to you tomorrow morning, and if we see Ruderin, we'll send him to your table.
Sounds good.
Thank you very much. He goes back to his paperwork as you guys are kind of ushered out and heading back to your table with your drinks.
Okay.
Well, that was helpful.
Yep.
What is that ring?
I don't know. I'm a little worried about it now.
Oh,
I mean, it's not like wave it around.
I have an idea. Let me see if I can take a peek at it. Corey, I can use my magical awareness to get a little idea.
You can. Give me 1 second because I have to get the information on it pulled up. 1 moment here.
I can only do this one thing, one at a time.
Okay. As you activate it, you do get the essence. Let me see. So you know the location. Yeah, the ring is definitely magical. There is some kind of spell built into the ring. And it's once again it's conjuration. However, the amount of power like magical energy packed into this, it almost starts like a feedback loop in your brain, and it kind of like short circuits you for a second, like near blinding. Like it is whatever this is, it's strong.
Okay. As soon as it starts to hurt, I'll kind of
lay off a bit.
Oh, that is strong. And I'm getting the sense that it's
Oh.
the same type of magic as what we experienced in the cave.
Huh.
I wish I could tell you more, but I can only do so much with this. But I can tell that it is quite magical and possibly very dangerous.
All right. And thanks. She's gonna just kind of stare at it for a little.
Don't put it on.
Don't plan to. At least until we know what it is.
All right, so you guys just chilling there in the bar, waiting to see if Ruderin gets sent your way.
Mm-hmm.
That's
All
my
right.
plan.
I'm
Yep,
gonna
well,
have
shit,
whoever wants to. I'm gonna have them roll a D100.
Not me.
Ooh.
Do you really want me to do it? Because I will.
Feel free.
Yep.
Yep, as well.
Okay. You guys spend a good amount of your time, the rest of the evening, going into the nighttime, enjoying the drinks, what food is on offer. Some of the dishes that you kind of see get ordered they smell really good, but then once you get a good look at it, you're like, I'm not too sure about that because it's typically non-human cuisine that's served up here, but there's some basic fare as well. It's pretty close to midnight by the time that one of the maids comes up to you with a very dirty, roughed up looking half elf in kind of a long traveling cloak and robes. Says, "Excuse me, sorry for bothering you guys, but Master Dorius said that you were looking for our wizard friend Ruderin.
Mm-hmm.
This is
Yes.
him, Ruderin. This is the group I was telling you about. They were looking for someone with some magical talent who might be able to help identify some things." He just kind of looks at you guys. Hey, Ruderin.
Filthy.
Hi.
Yeah, sorry. I was trying to hit a couple of the smaller mountain villages out there today for, some basic spell work, and let's just say it was windy in a few of them.
It's
He kind of
okay.
he tries it's not the strong prestidigitation. Those of you who are familiar with it, it's normally like an instant snap and everything kind of gets wiped clean. It's almost like he's doing it half exhausted. Like he has to do it a few times to get most of him fairly clean.
Oh, he's sleepy.
I'm still functional though. I can help. What do you need identified?
Well,
You should probably go someplace a little more private for this part.
Yeah, we can do that. I got a room rented here on the ground floor.
that'll
Yeah,
do.
so it works.
All right. He kind of leads you guys back over there into one of the rooms. It's a little bit bigger than your guys' room. The only real difference is that his room has a table in it and a couple of chairs. He kind of sits down at one of them, cracks his fingers a little bit. All right. So, what do you got for me?
I'm gonna hand him the ring, and I'm like, I'm told this is no joke. Just
Okay.
as a warning.
Fair enough.
I have no idea what it could be.
I'm going to set that one real quick. Do you guys have anything else that you need identified at the moment? I can talk before I identify it. I also want to talk fee, but I just want to know if you guys have more items. It's a bulk fee, that kind of thing.
I mean, the last dude took a look at this watch, said he couldn't tell anything. You got anything?
Takes a look at it.
Watch.
Yeah, I might be able to get a little more information out of it than that. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I can probably. It won't be like a full thing because he is right. There is something busted with it, but there's at least some lingering levels of enchantment there. I can probably dig into.
Cool.
All right, for 2 items, I normally do 50 gold each per item to get a full reading on it. Since you did 2, I'll say drop it down to 75 total.
All right.
All right. One of you forks over the 75 gold.
I'll fork it.
Okay. He looks at the pocket watch first. He watches his eyes kind of go completely white for a second. He's almost like muttering to himself in the process. It takes about 2-3 minutes. Sets it back down on the table. Yeah, it's definitely busted. There looks to be some kind of component, and with pretty deft fingers, despite being a little dirty, he pops open the back of the watch, and you see there's normally some kind of like plate, and he's showing you this. There's normally a plate here that covers the back. Basically keeps the back of the clock itself held in place and kind of runs it a little bit. It's completely cracked, but that's also the heart of the enchantment. It looks like at one point it was supposed to not only keep the time, but if you clicked it in twice, you could teleport 400, 500 feet away.
Nice.
But it's broken, so you'd have to replace that. You'd have to get that fixed or something. That's not something I can do. That'd probably be... Well, someone in one of the major cities could probably do it. At the very least, an Arcanist can do it. But yeah, cool. He closes the watch back up. If you get that little plate replaced, you might be able to, do something with it. Now the ring. He kind of puts it in one palm. Just kind of looks it over a little bit. You said it was supposed to be really powerful?
That's what I was told.
Well, it doesn't look all that powerful, but let's take a look here. And he watches his eyes once again go completely white. This time longer. He's in this kind of like trance-like state for almost 10 minutes. And then suddenly snaps out of the trance, puts the ring onto the table, stands up, immediately draws a wand and points it at it, and just looks at you guys with shock and horror on your face. Where in the 9 hells did you get that?
I bought it at a shop. He didn't know what it was.
Yeah, I bet he didn't. Because if he had, he probably never would have given it away for fear of just breaking reality as we know it.
Oh, what?
What is that?
That, my dear friends, is a ring of wishing. You have the power to break reality, just sitting there on the table.
Oh,
goodness.
And that is where we're going to leave for the night.
Oh,
nice.
We're too small of level for this.
I've actually I had a ring of wishing in my last Monday campaign, and it saved our asses twice.
I was trying to, like, when you guys were originally at the shop, I was just kind of digging through the DMG, and I'm like, I'm going to random roll it. Like, this is going to be my Christmas gift. Everything's on the table. We'll see what they get. And that one came up.
Nice.
My first thought was, oh, this is going to break some stuff.
Nah, we'll
and I cannot wait. But with that said, before we finish off, Tyler, I need you. Let me get the details for it pulled up. 1 second here. Because now that you've had it identified, I need you to do some rolling.
Ooh.
Let me see if it'll come up.
Well, on that note, I will actually end the recording here. So, well, thank you guys for watching, and we will catch you next time we play.
All right, I need